And so I contacted Nosy first, and I was like, hey, can you give me the number? So the number that Nosy gave me didn't work. So then I contacted that girl over there, and then she was like, well, she wanted to do like a group conversation. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with you. It's between me and her. So just give me the information. Let me talk to her. I was like, because I still do have questions. You know what I'm saying? And if just like she has questions, I have questions as well. So let me ask the questions. But at the end of the day, I was going to apologize to her.
But she said the police was involved also. So Deb, that girl over there told you that.
And I also backed Nosy Hose on a lot of the things that she said in regards to All About the Tea. Where I started to back off with Nosy Hose was when she started to dox people. And it seemed like she was putting out additional information that really was not pertinent to the situation or really wasn't happening with the situation. So I took a step back from Nosy Hose because of that. Because like I said, I always feel like it's important to put out information that's accurate as opposed to putting out information just for clicks and views. That what she was doing was over the top, and a lot of people were hurt in regards to that matter. So then when she got deleted, that happened. And next thing you know, even before the deletion, Dani Robertson had kind of popped up in my news feeds, and also Down the Rabbit Hole. She was already popping up in my news feeds. And I actually disagreed with some things with Down the Rabbit Hole regarding Monique Tolbert and regarding Monica from All About the Tea. And I was very vocal about that. And I still am. Like I said, I can agree to disagree with people. I don't have to agree with everything you think. And I have the right to have my opinion about it. It's unfortunate that some folks think you don't deserve to have your own opinion about things, and everybody has to kind of follow someone else's thought process. That's the issue that I started to take on with Down the Rabbit Hole and with Dani Robertson. I don't have a problem with Down the Rabbit Hole. I think that she's very thorough in her research, quote unquote, in a sense, but she doesn't go far enough. And I think that sometimes she gets caught up in situations that I don't think she intends to get caught up in, but she ends up in it because, these people tend to take her under their wing and, push a certain narrative with her. And she just pushes that narrative regardless of how that's going to affect someone else. And that's what's recently come out about Down the Rabbit Hole when she recently doxed a woman in efforts of trying to dox one of Nosy Ho's, biggest supporters, which is Tamika. So, and her doxing Tamika, she thought she was doxing the one Tamika when it turned out to be someone else. And that is what, to me, just spells hypocrisy. Like, you can't say, hey, I'm totally against, victimizing people and doxing people. And this is the whole reason for your outrage to Nosy when you were doing the exact same thing. So you need to have a fallback too down the rabbit hole, because at the end of the day, if you're doing the same thing as Nosy, what's the point of you, bashing her for what she's done? As far as Dani Robertson, I actually liked her at first. I thought that everything was funny. I thought that, she had a lot of, just a lot of funny parts to it. And, eventually hers became just over the top too. It started to become bullying. And then, she was coming not only for Nosy, but then anybody that was, trying to refute anything that she was saying. And then also I got this idea in my mind, and this is only because I was so involved in the All About the Tea situation that I actually got a privacy complaint myself from Monica, which I made a video about. And the information that I was given about Monica, it reminded me of how Dani was approaching the situation. She just kept looking for some type of apology and kept looking, like it was adamant that she demand an apology for Monique Tolbert and demand an apology for this and for that. And I'm like, why is this person so invested in this? Kind of like Monique Tolbert was invested in this situation where, if it's a situation that just doesn't concern you or doesn't involve you, you would just simply move on from it, or you would be entertained by what you're seeing and then just move on. Why is it that Dani felt the need to be so overly involved in this, considering the fact that she's just an avatar, she has a robotic voice? Why would she care about this as much as she does? It can't be for clicks and views, because it's not like she was getting 10, 20,000 views on these videos. I mean, so it's, I don't understand why this was such a big deal to this person, unless this person was either Monique Tolbert or this person was Monica.
After she wouldn't connect me with her, that's when that happened. That's when she was talking about the police being involved and all those other things. And I'm like, well, sued for what? We didn't do anything. She showed up to a live on her own. So she can't sue us because she's popped up on a live on her own. That's what that girl over there
No,
was saying.
Monique Tolbert, that's what they were saying. That's what
Yes.
Rabbit was saying to Deb. She was telling Deb that basically the police are involved now, and Monique Tolbert was gonna do something, or but it was like she got up on Nosey's panel and she gave out all her information. She said her grandfather's name, she said her own name, she said her children's name, she said all this information about her. But then they came back to Deb trying to scare him, which is a tactic, and they were trying to tell him the police is involved, and this is why you can't talk to her. So this is basically what she's telling Deb. You can't talk to her anymore because the police involved now. You can only talk to her if you come to my panel where she's at. Like basically, that's what she told Deb. He can only talk if he came to her panel and had the conversation.
She was trying to build content off of all this.
I feel like not a lot of people might have seen Dani's video. So Dani's video, and I'm looking at the number and I'm just wondering, well, did everybody watch it? Because she really dispelled and said a lot of misinformation, putting that out there to make sure that people were not confused about the message as far as what's going on, okay? And with her channel. Immediately when there was a rumor that was made, oh, it's for this and that. And I'm like, no, it's not. And you didn't do your research. And usually it's because you got a bone to grind, and I just want to make sure that people understand what's being put out there. This is from Dani's words. She put this out there before anything started really circulating with other content creators, right? And so I think that it's important that, she put that out there. Listen to what she has to say. One thing I will say about Dani is that, hey, she comes back, you can actually substantiate her research. You can actually see that she did put her time and effort into research. Hence why our channel will support and will always support Dani, because that's how she moves. She's never done anything different other than showing you this is how I am and this is how I come in with research. I don't know, like I said, too many channels out there that with one video, okay, one video that takes time, hours and day out of the day to dispel misinformation. Who does that out there? Point out, if you guys in the chat know somebody like that, please point them out. I can't even measure up at all. So please point that out there. If you guys know of anybody that can dispel information and do research and come back with it when she says this is it, this is what it is. Does anybody know any other content creator like that? I don't. So I can't measure up, and I get it. I don't know. But let's go ahead and play this channel membership update that she had aired for us.
Happy Thursday, Avengers. To be fully transparent, I will let you know what's happening with my main channel's monetization. Before false narratives are spun, my memberships were paused because I have too many duplicate videos on my channel. For example, I tend to upload the same exact video for members as I do for the public. That way I can have 2 viewings with live chat. I've done that for Piping Hot Tea, because I know that the public wants the full experience.
You can't come after the credibility of Facebook members when the credibility of Nosy Ho Live detective work is shot. Is that you've eaten off of Nicki Minaj's name. You've had following because of Nicki Minaj's people. To me, you got a lot of you just have a lot of growing up to do. Thank you so much, John Yates, for the super chat. I appreciate you for that.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am heated.
I could see that. You are heated. Yes. This situation is very interesting. And you know more than anyone that when it comes to children, the system, and abuse, the policies usually outweigh personal opinion.
I agree, Ebony. And I think what really bothered me is, and I'll tell you, what really bothered me is that if this wasn't about blogger credibility, he said, she said situation, then the last thing they would have done is brought up your name.
Right. And see, this is my thing. And I want to be clear with what I said, because I think it's important for people to get a context. This is what I said. I said, how do you claim to be a barb blog, yet you have a dry girl on your channel who harassed Nikki and her baby? Y'all be using the barb name way too lightly for me. Right. And there's actually a study in the Journal of Medicine. Right. And it talks about, and I'll leave the comment in your comment section, the link, and it talks about Black children being raised by white people, right? And it talks about how to manage societal perceptions of what we call transracial adoption and transracial issues. I understand it, right? You are a Black person or a person of minority status. You're walking through Costco. You see a group of Caucasian people with a Black child. The Black child looks noticeably upset. Something obviously must be wrong. And sometimes our preconceived notions and biases, they blur our lens to the facts. On top of that, I think now that we're at a point where, okay, they've done their investigations. And I think Riverside County just released another statement 3 hours ago as well, explaining why she was arrested. And I sent that to you, Alex, if you want to show your audience. But I get her concern. It's just the stuff that happened after. And Paris Milan, I don't care what you say about her. Oh, she did a PowerPoint. It was very well done. She spoke very well. It was a factual video. And I always tell my audience, when you hear people using a lot of adjectives, they're trying to figure out what to say. I want the facts. Stop describing what's going on. Tell me what the facts are. And we got no facts tonight. But instead, you decided to attack me because I questioned your loyalty to Nicki Minaj because you put somebody up on your platform that attacked a baby. And unfortunately, it's very disappointing because I did not expect, that so bold to do that. That was just, oh, well, you could have DM'd me. What do I need to DM you for? You put somebody on your platform. You did something publicly. I'm going to address you publicly. The only difference is I'm not going to lie on you. I'm not going to say you bought followers. I don't need to do that. And if I bought followers, honey, I wouldn't have got approved for verified status in a week.
All right, so this is the original video where the whole, claims and accusations happen.
So this family, they're not feeding their adopted child. She's crying. They're being racist towards their daughter. You guys we need to expose these people. This family, look at her. She looks hungry. And they're making her say that she's not hungry. And these people are disowning her, and they're probably using her as a slave like they were back in the day. So yes, The sheriffs are on the way. I called the cause because yes, I'm a Catholic-ass person, and I'm not about to watch this go by. That is very rude and very disgusting of these people. And yes.
Wow. All right, so that was the whole video. So from how it sounds, at least, I read the article, but the woman just walked up to these white people, saw that there was a black, female amongst the white family, and just started making claims on them. Ended up getting herself in jail, which is the best justice possible.
But yeah, so let's talk about the panel. So everybody saw me on my channel going after the avatar for what she did wrong and calling her out, demanding that she apologize to Plays, and telling everybody, if you don't agree with the avatar, you don't like her channel, you don't like what she's done, you don't have to watch her. You don't need to go over her comments and cuss her out and troll. None of that. Stay away from people that you don't like. If you support the panel, go watch the panel. I want to be clear. Before I even got involved with the All About the Tea drama, I already had over 30,000 subscribers. Okay? I already had over 30,000. Yeah, shout out to Sean Davey Way. He did post my links. Okay? I already had over 30,000. So, I already had an audience. And I asked my audience to go and follow all of the panel members. I brought them on my channel multiple times. I posted their links in my description. Every time they went live, I would share it in my community section. I did a subscribe party to get their subscriber count up. I help people to figure out how to put ads on their videos. I did those things. And when Monica took my channel down, it's been crickets from some of them. And nobody's asked you to go and form a Nosy Hole Live parade. But you don't have a motherfucking thing to say. The reason why I'm in shit with Monica is because I went up against Monica for how she treated you, bitch. I just want to say thank you to Deb. Thank you to Shanitra. Thank you so much to Sherelle. Thank you to Sean Davey Way. Thank you to Official King Payne. One person just ain't got nothing to say. One person, I felt like the tone from them was, well, what did you think was going to happen? You shouldn't have been talking about it. Like, that's what I got. That's the energy that I got. So shout out to Sean Davey Way. Sean shared my links. Sean ain't never shaded me. I ain't never shaded Sean. We never had no issues. People are very, very desperate for us to have issues. I think it's because we both read and drag, and they feel like that'd be so good to watch. I'm not going to beef with Sean because y'all want me to. He ain't done shit to me, so fuck y'all. We're not going to have beef because we don't agree. And we don't completely agree on the Costco girl situation. However, because I do respect Sean, when I respect someone, even if I don't agree with them, not all the time am I willing to listen to people, because sometimes I just don't give a fuck about what somebody got to say, especially when I don't respect them. Like, I don't care what you got to say, but I do respect Sean. And so I'm capable of listening to what Sean has to say about the situation and challenge myself to think differently if necessary. And today, what Sean said about the rape kit was absolutely right. So let me just be clear with my subscribers. When it comes to Angelica said that they should do a rape kit, and us agreeing and saying, yes, they should do a rape kit. We are absolutely wrong. A rape kit is traumatic. It's very invasive. It's something that's difficult to put someone through. And we should not be demanding that, but we don't have any proof that anything has happened to her. She has not said that anything happened to her. We don't have proof that she has been molested. We believe it, but we don't have proof. And so the worst thing that we can do is say, she needs a rape kit done. Who are we to do that? Also, even though she's a young girl and a minor, she has control over her own body. She has control. And so we just shouldn't be doing that. I know that we did not have bad intentions. We feel, a lot of my subscribers are very similar to me, and, you know, we're passionate about things, and when we feel a certain way, fuck what y'all got to say. We feel it, we own it, damn it, we cut heads off, heads will roll, kill everybody, some ain't right, we snooping, we own it, right? We can be very passionate, but we need to sometimes dial that back to realize, to see if we're causing harm without intending to. So we need to continue to investigate, but we need to be sure of what's going on. If she says that something happened to her, or if there's proof that something happens to her, that's different. But other than that, we should not be demanding that anything happens with that young girl's body. I think we were wrong for that, and I think Sean was right to mention that.
Because even after all of this, I realized I went back to her channel, because Nosy was like, well, you have to realize before all this happened, all of her content was about me. And I was like, I never even realized that. So I went back and looked. I'm like, damn, it really is about Nosy. So
Rabbit kept on talking about Nosy Ho, and then Monica talked about Nosy.
It was multiple videos about Nosy.
Yep.
And so, and I want to travel back a little bit because Cup skipped a lot of steps real quick. So once I went over to Nosy's channel, that girl over there was like trying, even when it came to Toxic Diamond, she was trying to be like the middleman when it came to me about these people, because she was like, be careful. And so because me and Nosy actually got cool, I think that the control that she thought she could have had over me kind of changed for her. Because I'm like, well, I mean, if I'm cool with you, I could be cool with you and be cool with her as well, because Nosy was never on no type of time like, well, you can't talk to her because you're talking to me. She was just like, you know, whatever y'all got going on, cool. Just don't bring that shit over here to me. So I'm like, all right, cool. I won't do it, because at the time we were cool. So I'm like, I'm not. Even when it came to Toxic Diamond, the same thing. So once I got cool with Nosy, I think she had a leak, like she was like not that bad with Toxic Diamond, but she really did not like Nosy. And so I didn't know the magnitude of that. And again, when Nosy told me to go look at her channel, I was like, oh my God, like she really has made videos about you like this. And so going back forward, so after that thing happened when Tober had showed up, I'm like, well, you know, I want to talk to her. You know, let me apologize, because I did tell her I was going to do that. But then it became, well, we got to do a group thing. I'm like, I don't need you on the phone with me with her. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, I'm a grown ass man. Like, I don't need that from you. And so she was like, I think the last thing she said was like, I tried to warn you. I think I sent the video. I sent you my video to Cups. But there's a part in there. She's like, I tried to warn you or something like that. I'm like, warn me about what?
Down the rabbit hole was saying, I tried to warn you.
Yes.
I am sorry, bitch. What?
Yeah.
And so the next thing is Nosy Ho channel got taken down, right? Now you see, she told him, I tried to warn you. So now Nosy Ho channel gets taken down, and Nosy is on Twitch now. And now Nosy is really telling things, right? So Deb is over there supporting Nosy, and you know, because ultimately
wait, you skipping too far ahead.
What?
Because even before that, when it got taken down,
you skipping too far ahead.
I went on, me and Busy went on and tried to get her channel back.
Yeah.
Because like he don't want a black woman's channel be taken down. So me and him went.
Who took Nosy Ho's channel? Monica Diabato?
They striked her channel so much they took her channel down.
Nosy said that All About the Tea took her channel down. People are saying that this happened from the Costco girl incident, because there was a Costco girl incident where the police got involved, and Nosy was on the phone with the police, and she was very disrespectful with the police. And they said that Shaky Fontaine Shaky Fontaine put this out herself, that she called the police station and gave them Nosy Ho's YouTube channel, and then they took it to YouTube Legal, and that's how her channel got taken down.
That's how it got taken down. Yep.
He apologized to Busy Blue about what she said and this, that, and the other. So it was like a deflection. So let's let's get Nosy involved so she can attack Busy Blue, and then that's one less person we have to worry about. Okay. And then what happens? You know, she brings Nosy on to talk about Potomac. And then the next day she does the live with Nosy about Monica. You know, when Nosy was like grilling this person who they thought was Monica, I called Monica. I have the proof. I have this. We were on the phone for like 20 minutes. Okay. I could post it if you want. That lady is not Monica. Otherwise, you would have seen her on the phone with me talking to me. Like, that was never her. And this poor lady who Nosy sent her army to go attack, you know, she's like a regular person. She's not attached to this.
My first videos were not about Nosy. Okay. I have those videos on private. I'm a newer content creator. I actually opened my page in February. You know, I hustled and got monetized in about 90 days under mentorship. Really great women. Okay. And so for me, I came in and I have a different way of seeing things. I'm a little bit objective. You know, I'm not necessarily always in agreement with everyone. Matter of fact, I was studying all about the tea and some of the content they were doing. And so when that started, I mean, I was doing content. I didn't necessarily agree with all this stuff. That was fine. That's Monica's channel. But I would use that comment as commentary for my channel. And so then that's how I came to know. So the day that the stuff happened with the panelists, I think I was one of the first channels to talk about Ples because, you know, she was my favorite panelist. And then it kind of trickled down from there. And so I just wanted to clarify, number one, my first video wasn't about Nosy Ho. Please don't flatter yourself. I know I'm not at like 10 or 15,000 subs, but I will tell you why I've made videos about her specifically. You see, I'm Mexican, okay? And so for me, when you talk about, there you go. When you talk about illegal immigration, when you talk about immigrants, when you degrade, and you can't deflect and say, I haven't done that. I haven't, because guess what? We've all seen it. You cannot move away from that and at least own it, okay? But again, you can drag and you can call me. You could talk about my looks or whatever, or the fact that I'm a rodent. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But I just really would appreciate that we at least say what's really out there. That's why I started with that, because I really didn't like the way in which people were being treated. But again, everybody has an audience, right? And I'm not going to go there and tell somebody anything. I just did my videos. It was a way in which I dealt with some of what she was saying. Because at one point I was a sub of hers. I'm not anymore, right? So that was that. And so then from there, from when all the panelists, you know, I interviewed a panelist as well. And I stopped talking about this issue with Monique Tolbert. No one had reached out to her to help her out.
What really bothered me tonight was that Nosy, you know, they just did their live. And Nosy called me a drug addict about 20 times on their last live tonight. And Sherelle and Perry didn't stop her. Didn't say, oh, no, don't bring that up, Nosy. That's, you know, she was using it just on race. But, you know, Nosy said about 20 fucking times. And, you know, Sherelle and Perry never corrected her.
And I hear you. And I'm just saying, I didn't ask. Is the lady Mexican or is the lady white? I literally saw someone that needed help and I reached out for support. And then things just kind of happened. And ever since then, it's been like, I'm part of a factory or so-and-so. You know, last week, let me tell you how this group think is working, okay? I interviewed Mark Class, all right? Face-to-face interview with the man, with another content creator, with my mentor. I was so excited about this. Real issues, all right? His daughter had been killed. And the man's facing death row. All right. So then that has already been released, was released a couple days ago. And just yesterday, they had a live with like 1,000K people in the chat trying to uncover the rabbit. It's unfortunate. Monica and John, you know, like I said, I'm a very small content creator. I hustle. I have a lot of skill set that I put into my stuff. I like to think that it's unique that way. It's not always what people like, but some people do appreciate it. So I very much thank the people that like it, and the people that don't, I always look for feedback. I'm humble that way. But at the end of the day, since this has happened, 50 people that I've had to block, and I don't like to block people, but the comments have been very abusive. You are a white Karen. You are what? And you don't even know what's behind the avatar, and you're assuming that you know me. You don't know anybody's story. It's like this disconnection. It's not fair. But yeah, and I have not necessarily defended Monica. I've stepped away because I wanted to allow the authorities to figure out the Monique Tolbert. But apparently everybody's associated to this, and that's the conclusion. And the only thing I ask, seriously, is the only thing I ask is for us to really think about this. With Sherelle's World and Perry, and I find this to be very sad because, like I said, I'm a subscriber of those channels, and I look up to the bigger content creators, Tasha K, all of them. I really do. It's really sad when you're trying to,
look right there
and grow. No, but you bring up a good point, and I wanted to, because I saw the last live between Heidi and the both of you, and it did come up, and what I realized was, you and your friendship with Sherelle is one thing. But then we're mentioning this thing of race. And for me, as a smaller content creator, it's of every comment I get the same. And although I don't like to block, I'm not going to entertain graffiti in my platform, in my house, when it's demeaning, when I know that that's not the place that I'm coming from. It's not okay. You wouldn't allow it in your house. Why would you allow it on your platform? I did want to say something because I'm going to have to drop in about 15 minutes or so. And I think it's interesting, John, because there was a content creator, and we don't necessarily have to say their name or anything because you addressed it earlier. I'm making a video about you and whether you were going to quit or whatever. I think it's interesting because this specific content creator, when the panelist situation happened, everybody dropped. I'm sure he would have been the first one to have been a panelist in All About the Tea. And so now switching it up, okay, and I'm pretty sure he knows who he is. He's coming after you consistently. And let me tell you, one of the lives when this whole panel thing dropped was, am I going to get hired? Will I be qualified to be a panelist? Should I put in my application?
Thing with Val.
But hold on. Can I just put this in there real quick? She was So Deb's first mod. And if you look at that video that you played before of Nosy when she was up on Sherelle's panel, that is when Nosy's channel first went down. You will see in that video that Val also came up on that video crying to Nosy, saying how much she loves Nosy and she supported Nosy. So now Val
loves Nosy.
Yes. So now Val, they all love Nosy, believe it or not.
I met her on Nosy's channel.
Yeah, so basically, hello. They all met on Nosy's. Well, Val was on Nosy's channel. So Val went up there and then she became So Deb's moderator. Now, okay, let's continue. But hold on. So now Nosy's channel went down and Nosy was on Twitch.
What's going on with Val? Also, did you know she was like that? I will say this. I'll be very cautious about this. The answer is yes. I'm going to just say that. I think that she did a lot of things. The biggest thing that she did with me was when she decided to choose them over me, and we had a conversation about it. I'm like, beware because it's going to come back to you. And so when I saw it going on with her, I'm not an I told you so person, but I told her this, and this is where she's at now. So I didn't know she was like this. The lying part about the thing with and you were talking about this. I want to clarify something else that you said on the video I was watching the other day. The reason why she's unforgivable right now is because she said she flatlined. They thought she had died. And then she went on to her YouTube channel and acted like she was her sister and made a post. And so that's why she's unforgivable right now for them.
So she chose them over you.
Val and me used to talk all the time. She's my very first mod. Even when I had my Amazon wish list, Val bought me like video games. She explained to me why she bought them for her sons, like the games she had bought me, everything. Like me and Val were really cool. Like Val has my personal phone number. Cool. So after all the stuff that had kind of happened between me and those people over there, she chose a side, and her side was them and it wasn't me. And she kept trying to get me to go back and like be cool with them, but like they were never in that space. And I didn't understand why she kept doing that with me, because I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not really mad at these people, but if they want to like, make peace, I'm cool with it. Because I'm not that type of person where I'm about to be battling with people on the internet. I'm just not. So if that's what they wanted, and most of it was just with this lady, her name is Sunny, the girl Sunny. So that's what it really was. And she was trying to create peace with us, but I'm just like, the lady doesn't like me. And mind you, we hook up in real life, me and the girl. So it was just really weird. I'm like, why does Val keep bringing this to me? And she doesn't even want to make peace with me. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So the answer to that question is yes, I do think that Val's been like this for very long.
I want to bring up how it went left when it started to actually really go left for So Deb, right? That was when all that stuff happened. Once Nosy channel went down, there was something that happened where I think Nosy was saying some things about that woman over there, about tacos or burritos, or it was something with tacos.
It was what was it? It was
she said something about
chalupas and sombreros.
So she was basically saying, like, you know, this is a non-black woman that's coming in black spaces, and you know, she needs to focus on a chalupa or sombrero, whatever. She said something dead last.
Word for word. Call her Ling Ling. So you know, like there's some people that make you want to say mean things.
No, word for word, what she said was she should have sat there. She should have sat there and ate her chalupa and hung on her sombrero. That's
right. Okay. All right. And the only thing you did was laugh about that, right? So that
I put LOL in the chat. Now,
and after
this happened, they were calling ICE, and I'm like, I had logged off because I was at Pride at the time, so I logged off of what is that other app?
That was Twitch. That was Twitch.
Yes, I was on Twitch that day, so I LOL'd because to me it was like, you know, sit to eat your food. I didn't think about like the.
It's funny. What is wrong with that? It's a joke.
I didn't think about like the actual sombrero and the chalupa. I didn't think about that. Well, after this is when Speak and Spell made a video about.
That's Shaky, the Shaky the Bot. That's what she started when she first came out. She was a robot. She wasn't talking. She came out originally as playing videos as a robot voice. She didn't use her voice in the beginning.
I think it's funny, right? I don't expect, because I've said it before, a lot of people don't like me. I'm okay. I think Dani is in that same bucket too, where people will villainize Dani, right? For the things that she does or commentary, because it's not one side, or because people's opinion is that she defends X, Y, and Z, when really she's giving commentary. People want people to take sides on stuff that really we have no place. I have no place taking sides on anything. I have no place on taking sides on anything. I don't pick a side based on how people want me to respond. What side is correct? Who's going to tell me? Why don't you blah, blah, blah? Well, why don't you understand that I don't pick a side? And if I do pick a side, is it content for me to make? Is it content for me to make, you know, to tell everybody, subscribers, I've picked a side. Okay. It takes research. Dani's telling you what happened. And let me tell you, check her stuff. That's one thing that Dani does, is when she does her research, you can check her stuff. You can actually make sense of where the information's coming from versus, well, it was a DM and it's an unnamed DM. Sometimes we can't even figure that out. That's one thing why I stand behind Dani, why I stand behind the Avengers. I have to. I don't know too many channels out there that can do what Dani does. And the day that I decide, you know what, Dani, guess what? I don't stand behind you. A lot of you people won't even know it, because some of the shit that I do here doesn't have to be public. You see, I handle my stuff in the background. If I decide tomorrow, today, whatever, that I don't support a content creator that I used to talk to a lot of you people won't know it, because it's not content. It's not my content. That's not how I handle shit. That's not business moves. If you see your channel as a means and ways of a resource and a source, unless you're John Yates and you come up here and you have your drunk rants and that's your content, that's one thing. But some of us don't announce who we don't mess with anymore. We'll say, hi, how you doing? I'm a very cordial person. Believe it or not, in real life, I'm very cordial. When I stop talking to people, they'll know it, but a lot of people won't, because it's not their business. Thank you. That's why people from various pages were glad, because those people in the early witch hunts hurt many people. Thank you. Turn my friend's life upside down with no facts. A lot of people in the summer, a lot of stuff was happening. And so I think it's interesting that now it's like, let's figure out what we don't like and let's nitpick, when really, if you think about it, it's research. And then Dani puts in her commentary, and Dani's a funny person. Like, you can't take that from her. Don't mess with Dani. That's all I got to say. But like I said, the day that I decide, Dani, sorry, good luck to you, you guys won't know it. Yeah, this summer was a nightmare. It really was. It was bad. I mean, for me personally, you had the bounty, okay? You had the race situation happen, okay? I had like multiple content creators coming at me. I've had it too. A lot of you go through a season where people come at you at different angles, and all it takes is one person with a huge number to say something. It does happen. But let me tell you, if you don't stand in your shit, which is what happens here a lot of people don't stand in the things that they say. You're allowed to change your mind, but you don't stand in the things that you say. When you make a mistake, you don't even own it. You have to own the shit. And that's example, case in point, JY. This is why he does the shit that he does and he gets away with it. Which, by the way, we're still canceling him. The membership petition is up there. Okay, make sure you guys sign it. We're not done there. I'm actually going to drop some information about those degrees. I should call them decrees, or, you know, whatever the hell he wants to call them. Because there's definitely something fishy, and it's a lot more fishy. There's something fishy about that whole situation. It's very smelly, like his dirty fish tank in his apartment. Something's not right in there. And we're going to look into that as well.
Happy Thursday, Avengers. To be fully transparent, I will let you know what's happening with my main channel's monetization. Before false narratives are spun, my memberships were paused because I have too many duplicate videos on my channel.
Dani said that her memberships were paused. Too many duplicate videos, right? I'm a content creator, and I didn't even know that. I didn't know that repetitive content would or could cause me to be demonetized on my main channel. We don't have, and she really didn't have to do this, because I think that this is a PSA for all of us that are content creators. Now I know. I'm not going to re-upload shit, you know. I have to be very careful how I do things on my backup channel, right? Or how things kind of happen on my main channel. Make sure that it's not repetitive per YouTube.
Example, when my members watched the police footage, they had live chat. If I were to release that same video to the public, then they wouldn't have the live chat feature. Basically, they would only have the replay option. The same goes for the interview and other content that I released to members first. Again, duplicated content is reused content or repetitious content that can basically be found somewhere else in its entirety or even just partially. According to YouTube, it is content that does not add value to the original video, is not original or relevant. It is basically the same video re-uploaded without many or any changes. So, word of caution to all creators. Don't upload duplicate videos to the same channel or a different channel, or you might get the repetitive content email too. Basically, I have to delete the duplicate content and then reapply on May 28th. Also, as you can see, my channel meets all the requirements for monetization. Check, 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 check. Also, it doesn't have
check, 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 check. That was not passive aggressive at all, Dani. Good job.
Any active community guideline strikes. Again, no active strikes. I'm in the green hunty. Don't believe the lies. So, no worries. I will fix the repetitive content issue and everything will be back to normal.
Let me ask you guys a question. Why would Dani, and it's a fair question, why would Dani have to lie about that? Why would she have to lie about that and then show you a screen of what she has? Can anybody tell me what would be the point of lying? I mean, what would she gain from it? She's held a reputation of being truth teller, of showing receipts, of going above and beyond, of coming back and dispelling things in one video. Why or what would Dani win or gather or gain from lying at this point? I don't think anything. Why lie about that? I came in here when I was showing you guys this Kivas thing, right? I told you guys what I had in my background, how I had to fight it. So help me understand, why would Dani have to lie about this? Why would somebody that has built a reputation in telling the truth, bringing receipts, taking her time on making sure that people understand what she was doing, the research that she was doing, why would she have to lie?
So we called her like Rosie, Speak and Spell. I call her Shaky Bot. Like, you know, we just gave her a whole bunch of names. Like, you know, so but she wasn't an actual person talking. She was doing it in hello.
She
this
went
is
and
what
attacked you.
Yeah, she started making videos about that.
Because of LOL.
Because right.
LOL, that was it. That's all
that
I
was
said.
it. That was it. Yep. And that's when everybody started turning on him.
Being racist towards that girl over there. And I'm like, I
thought black people couldn't be racist.
We can't, but that's what they put on us.
Fuck is she talking about? Is she not a black person?
I never knew they call ICE on that lady at all. I had no idea. Literally,
but nobody can prove that ICE actually got called on her. But that's the thing. Can anybody prove that ICE actually got called on her, or was that something that she just said? Because now we see how these people operate. Clearly, she became a victim for you to become attacked, because that's what everybody used. I believe that's why Sunny kind of fell back from you, because she was like, "Oh, you was over there with Rabbit, and then you was over there with her."
So peep this. I was supposed to meet Sunny that day. She knew I wasn't even at home. So because I was with her and her husband out that day. So when I logged off of that live that day, I did my podcast live that day. Sunny was like, the next day they're making a video about you, and I was like, for what? And she was like, yeah, because of the shit that you said in Nosey's live.
But hold on, she told you about this before the video came out, right? She gave you a warning.
Yes.
Before the video came out, she let you know a video was coming out about you, correct?
Yes.
Sunny.
Who said that to you?
Sunny said this.
Who
Keep
is
the
Sunny?
names and notes. Sunny is a woman that was just on Incoming Opinions panel not too long ago about Val when she got up there and she was talking and she said Val really hurt her. If you go back on Incoming Opinion, that's Sunny right there that came out of nowhere and talking about Val recently. This is the Sunny we're talking about, and this is what was going on back then. Go ahead, Deb.
The one who told all the lies to Marcella and to Val, who stopped being friends with me because of her. That woman. So when she told me this, I'm like, well, for what? And they were like, because of what I said in Nosey's chat. Mind you, at the same time, Nosey had fell out with Marcella and Princess. So they wanted me to pick a side. And I'm like, well, y'all keep saying it's that a black woman's business. So listen, I'm out of it. I'm friends with y'all. I'm friends with her. Leave me out of it because this is the narrative y'all keep bringing up. When I talked to Princess, she was like, it's cool. Like, don't even worry about it. Well, that was not the same thing with Marcella. It came to this thing where like it got very nasty with me, and I'm just like, I check on you every day. Like, I don't understand what's going on. And like y'all keep saying, stay out of black woman's business, then I'm getting back in. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. So I was like, you know, that was Sunny in them because, and we moving really fast. But there was also this girl. Her name was Sparkle Alley. And so Sparkle Alley was on the channel. This is how Hear Her came about. So Sparkle Alley came to Sunny's channel. And it was like, I guess she was like Sunny TV or something like this before or whatever. And they were like trying to bring her back into the fold of YouTube. And they were trying to forgive her for the things that she did. I didn't know anything about this girl at all. But because they were like, you know, let us like give her another chance. I'm like, well, let's do it. So when she started coming up on these panels, you know, I'm like, well, we've forgiven her, so let's forgive her. You know what I'm saying? So something happened where she came up on the panel on Sunny's channel. And then I remember Trees came up and basically trying to cuss her out. And I was like, well, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Well, Trees took offense to me because I said that. And then all of a sudden, like, it was like game over for me. Like they were going.
Okay, Trees, was that in 2021? Because and that time she was probably like there is a reason why she went after you.
Well, 2021. So I'm gonna give a little backstory on that. Sunny TV that he's speaking about, from my understanding at that time, Sunny TV had left YouTube because she and Sean Davy Way had this big falling out or some sort. There was something that happened between her and Sean Davy Way. I believe she was Sean Davy Way's mentor, and she had came out and said something, and I think Sean Davy Way had came back. It was a really bad thing. From my understanding, they both said some, you know, things about each other online, but I believe they were friends at one point in time. So it was a very passionate thing. I know she left for a little while and she came back. And I don't know if that's why
they was like she liked him or something.
Yeah, I think that's Sean Davy Way said that she tried to make a pass on him or something like that. Yeah, and it was some crazy backstory to that. And I know she left and then she came back to YouTube. And I remember that time that she came back, and I believe that's when her and Sean Davy Way got into another argument on YouTube. I do remember that. And I remember her being up on Sunny's
kind of energy that she had with her at that time, because her and Sean was cool at the time. Yes. So maybe that's why she, again, I don't really know the backstories to any of this stuff.
Or maybe she had her own situation with Sunny TV too. We don't know. I don't know, because I believe Sunny TV also used to beef with Tasha K, and Trees used to be a moderator or something with Tasha K back in the day. So yeah, that could have came from that too. I do believe that Sunny TV, I don't know if she was cool with Tasha K, but I do believe, because Sunny TV is from old school. She from 2015, 2016. I was a subscriber back then watching it. So I believe that Sunny TV had a beef, or she was like talking about Tasha K. She used to be, you know, she was talking about YouTube drama, like, you know. And I know that her and Sean Davy Way had some type of falling out. I don't really want to speak on that whole sense, but I know there was a few things that was said. She left YouTube, and I do remember around that time she came back. And what happened with her was she did something with Queen Naja too. There was a whole situation that happened with Queen Naja and Sunny TV. Yep, she lied on like the grandmother or something. She went to their house, and I think that's what people was forgiving her for too. So that could have been it too.
But then after that, that's when she came back, and then that's when Sunny was trying to like bring her back into the fold of YouTube or whatever. And so, you know, if y'all saying we giving her another chance, mind you, I don't know the past. I'm like, well, we giving her a chance, so she's going to make mistakes, whatever, you know, it's cool. I don't remember if she, that's that was a Val situation. That's what it was. She had said that Val reached out to like her son or something like that.
Yep. Or Val said she reached out to her son. It was something with somebody's son. It was.
It was
Yep.
Val's son.
Oh, yep. It was something
It
with
was
somebody's
Val's son.
son. Yep.
Yes. And I'm like, well, I don't see her doing that because at the time I've been talking to her because of the way that they had presented her to me. I'm like, well, I mean, if she's doing better, let's, do better. I think me and her did like lives together and everything. So when they were like going at her, I was like, well, y'all, let's not really like trash her because I mean, if she's doing better, let's figure it out. But they were like,
But that's true.
her
Like,
down.
what is Tasha K's role in all of and it just seems so.
Clock it.
But
Okay,
anyway,
let's go
hold
back.
on. But hold
So
on. Let me add this
lost
piece
her
in there.
channel.
Hold on.
They decided that she needed to be punished
Hold-
because of Chalupa and LOL.
Oh, but hold on. One more thing also. I want to add this in there. When the whole falling out happened with All About the Tea and her panel, because let's add Tasha K in here because she came in the mix. Tasha K went to All About the Tea. She made a video and she told All About the Tea on her platform to dismantle that panel. She told All About the Tea on that panel. She made a live and she said All About the Tea, dismantle that panel. And that is when the panel got dismantled. And then everybody, so Deb was the first person to be, and he was the only one that was mainly attacked. But that's when it all started happening after the Chalupa thing. And then, he was close with.
Why would she go and say that?
I don't know.
That.
And
Why?
then Marcella came when you and Marcella first fell out. That's when the $7,000 gate came in, right? She wanted somebody's.
No. Me and Marcella fell out way before that.
Okay.
Like the timeline is we fell out during the time we were on All About the Tea.
Right.
Marcella came back and apologized to us about it because I guess something happened. I don't even know what happened, but that's when we all became cool again. And that's when we were traveling from channel to channel together. We were like really building each other's channels up because, mind you, I was like a guest. I wasn't like a part of the original panel. I was like a person where they would bring me on because of the stories that they were talking about. And my stories were like, I've been SA'd, I've been the R-worded, like things like that. So they would bring me up. And I also watched Basketball Wives. So I was there for those conversations. So I never forget because Marcella even talked to me about, me being LGBT. I think she has like an LGBT kid or something like that. Like we had great conversations, but when the thing had happened, there was a thing that happened with Plez that I would never even repeat. And that's when Plez had called me and she was like, what happened? And so I told her. And so that's when she had quit All About the Tea and she left gaps in there for me to fill in the gaps. And I went and I filled in the gaps from that breakup. And I got all my subscribers from that. I went from, I think I had like maybe 1,000 subscribers to like 8,000 like a week. And so my channel grew very well. And then coming up to October, then that's when I started talking to that girl over there and Toxic Diamond. And then I got over there to Nosy. And then once October came, that's when they took my channel down, basically, without striking me. They took if you go over to her Speak and Spell's chat, most of the subscribers come from my channel. Most of them come from my channel.
Clock it.
What happened?
Even that girl over there, when she interviewed me, a lot of her subscribers came from my channel as well. They used me to gain subscribers. And they will never say that, but I built multiple channels off of my own channel because when I would go live, I would like, y'all go over here. I would go to other people's channel, not even there, not that girl over there. She used me when she did the interview with me. But Sunny and everybody else, I built channels back to back. When I would do my lives, I would like, yo, I'm going over to this channel, follow me. And they would go over there with me. I'm on this channel, popping up here. Everyone. Even
that's how we used to do it back in the day. That's how we used that when 2021. Yeah. That's how we supported each other. We would do things like that before the Speak and Spell came and that girl over there in this sector and just overall in general. We would support each other like that. Like, oh, after this, we going over to this person live. We gonna go over here, and that way everybody can grow.
We had game nights.
Yeah,
it was fun. Like we would get drunk as fuck on YouTube for real. And like have a great
such a nice time.
It was such a good time. It was such a good time.
It was
such a good time.
Once that happened, and even after the Tober thing happened, I don't think I really got striked until that whole thing with the Chalupa and the sombrero thing happened. And then that's when it like turned on me.
It's either this or the other. And as soon as you said the wrong thing, how is that any different from what Nosy Ho Live used to do, where it's like the minute you disagree, you're axed. You're dead fish right then and there. That is so familiar. I'm like, are we looking at another mirroring situation here where A, you don't check your stuff, B, you can't be disagreed with, and C, you're going to have a block party with everybody that disagrees with you? When the story went out, and I remember, because one thing that people do, especially when they worked in the field, is they consult with each other. They talk about, what do you think about this? And for you and I was like, you know what? Let me sit back a little bit.
I called you. I was like, I need to talk to you about this case.
I know. And I was like, wait a minute, let me figure this out. Let me see. And you brought up some really great, valid points. Why you also advocated. The heart was in the right place, but you cannot advocate for something that is untruth and that you've taken years of your life to study. So
right. And I see someone
on the side and Barge, that's what it is, right?
That's the difference. He used his platform to attack me instead of using his platform to provide the facts about what he was presenting. And that should tell you something. And I hope he learns from this, because he is very young. And I told him on Twitter, don't allow your impulsive attitude to be your downfall.
Absolutely.
Because when you're quick to put that out, everything you said in that video, you can say allegedly all you want. And you guys know I love allegedly trail. You can say allegedly all you want. But now that I've been in this situation with Cardi and I have an actual lawyer who consults me on all this stuff, you can still be sued. And I want to say good job, Alex. You've been doing really good on your channel. I'm proud of you. Most definitely. And I want people to know that, look, we all want Molly to be safe. That is at the utmost. We share that sentiment, but I don't share the sentiment of using delusional thoughts to put out information that could not be true. Because in the end, that actually harms her more than helps her. And she's in a family unit right now. Keep in mind, there's a lot of stuff we can't know. But I just hope that people remember that when you do this type of stuff to people, you hurt the child. So if you truly care about the child, get to the facts and report it accurately. And if something is not right, apologize and move on. Don't attack other people. But that's it.
And it's going to happen, because that's absolutely this game works, not game, but really how this field works. And that's something that I have learned. You know, sometimes our heart is in the right place.
Yes, and that's something I want to remind everyone. That's so bold. Remy, everybody on that panel, besides the Nikki hater, their hearts are in the right place. Their hearts, they care about Black girls. And that's a beautiful thing.
You heard some of the claims in that video. It runs about 30 seconds long, and we blurred faces to protect the identities of all who were sitting at the table, including the alleged victim, a young Black girl who's with a white family and other children. The video generated waves of support for the alleged victim and a tsunami of outrage against the parents, all of which made it necessary to sort out what happened and to find out if the girl in the video was being mistreated in any way.
The short answer to that is no. The claims are not true. The girl is not being abused. We spoke with law enforcement. We spoke with child welfare services. And we spoke to the woman who recorded that cell phone video. The bigger question we wanted to try to answer tonight is, what is anyone supposed to do if you think you're witnessing child abuse? Who do you call? Our Nico Payne has been following the story all day long, and here's what he found out.
I seen the little girl ask, the adopted child ask if she can take a bite of a hot dog. The father said, you don't speak and you don't ask any questions. You're sick and you're not allowed to eat.
Angelica Mendez remembering what she witnessed at the Palm Desert Costco on Friday and sharing it to social media.
Start asking her more questions. I'm like, are you okay? I was like, are you okay, baby? I was like, are you hungry? And she tells me, she shakes her head no, but starts crying more. I ask her 3 times. She says the same answer, which is no. The 4th time, she says yes. She says yes. She looks up. She looks back down so quick. And the father kicked her under the table. She starts to cry even more. He tells the family, let's get up and let's get going.
Mendez then called 911 and followed the family to their cars as she recorded. By the time sheriffs arrived, the family in the video had left. Sheriffs the next day updating Mendez on the incident.
They called me the next day to say, hey, we located the family. They're in Arizona. They did an investigation. Said that all they told me was she's in a safe family home.
The video has garnered a lot of attention online, being viewed more than 500,000 times. Riverside County sheriffs also addressing the situation with this post early Monday, calling the information not credible. This incident leaving many people asking what to do if they catch themselves in a similar situation.
If anybody sees anything abusive, and it could be anything from neglect, physical abuse, it could also be even emotional abuse or anything that could be damaging to their mental health, definitely want to report that. You want to call the Child Protective Services hotline.
So they say on August 22nd, 2021, Gilbert police conducted a welfare check requested by the Riverside County Sheriff's Office in California after they were made aware of a video recording at a Costco where an individual alleged that a family was withholding food from one of their children. So then Gilbert officers contacted the family and found the child to be safe and in good health. Through their investigation and subsequent interviews, it was found that the child had refused to eat the day of the video recording due to an upset stomach. The Arizona Department of Child Safety conducted its own separate investigation into the incident. No evidence of any crime has been established. This is where I think people need to stay out of things, but this is where social media jumps into it.
1,500 people here on my YouTube channel. We just called the police in Mesa, Arizona and in Gilbert, Arizona, and got complete runaround rudeness, people making threats towards me, hanging up, being very nasty and condescending, and telling us that the accusations about the girl are not true. When I told one of the officers that, she complained about being raped, he said that basically traffic is more important, and asked me, is it happening right now? So he really asked me, is the rapist on top of the black child now? This is creepy, it's weird. I do not know, I want to make it clear, I don't know if the accusations about the girl in Costco are true or not. What I do know is there's something going on with this police department in Gilbert, Arizona, where these people allegedly live, and they seem to be trying to cover up something. The way that they behave is really weird, and everybody needs to watch it on my YouTube channel, and everybody needs to call them out and report them. This is crazy. And the daughter, the woman, the little girl who the woman told her that she was being raped. We need to do something. Also, it's very important to state that I called the adoption agency that they had on their page, I guess alleging that they used them, and that adoption agency has never heard of these people. Something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong here, and this needs to be looked into by everybody. Everybody needs to get involved. So please use our hashtag, it's Costco Girl. If you've been using that on social media, hashtag Costco Girl, and please call the fucking police in Gilbert, Arizona, and demand that they do a welfare check on Molly Tiffany. We have to demand that.
What y'all think? That shit sounds fucking wild. That shit is fucking, yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. So after she basically broke this investigation, and so another thing about Becky and her Facebook. So they had the ABC adoption agency, and also it's like a watermark on Becky's avatar thing, like the Facebook profile picture. She has an avatar, and in between the avatar's legs, it's a little white watermark that says Operation Underground Railroad, which is supposedly supposed to help black and ethnic, not white, black and ethnic specifically, help those children from being sex trafficked. So anyway, Nosy Ho broke the investigation, and the next day she investigated for 2 days, hard investigations. The next day,
Shout out to the mermaids out there,
and the sharks, and
the shark. You know what I'm
starfish.
saying? Helping out Nosy Ho.
But so she woke up and her page was fucking deleted. Her YouTube page, her YouTube channel was deleted. Why? For what?
This is the thing that pisses me off about social media. The police said that they conducted a welfare check. See, now this is where people will get confused and they will be all in an uproar because they're not reading or listening. They're just so caught up in emotions that they are not listening or reading appropriately. This says the Gilbert police conducted a welfare check requested by the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. They did not say anything about Arizona Department of Child Safety. Of course, no investigations took place yet. They did not give it to the Arizona Department of Child Safety yet. And once they did, they have not had a chance to do it. They will be doing it. See, this is where people get all their panties in a bunch, and then you will have a whole nother wave of social media outcries that are saying that the police are lying because they are not paying attention to the wordplay. I'm just pointing out that social media needs to back off. They need to back off and back out of people's business. How many of you guys have been in the grocery store or been in a department store with your child and they are upset, they're crying, they're sad, or they're going through their own thing because of something that happened before you got in the store? How many of you out there have children and your kid been crying because of something else? Not because they're being abused, not because you didn't feed them, but because they're upset about something else. And then come to find out that's exactly what this story is. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with a logical conversation. That's why they like these other channels, because they like to be gang members. They like to gang up on people and fight for a cause that has nothing to do with them. And then when they find out that it's a lie, everybody looking stupid. When the dust settles, everybody is looking stupid because they were out here calling police departments, calling places that you have no business calling, because you are not illegal. You have nothing to do with the law. You're not even a lawyer. You're not a psychologist. You're not a counselor. You're none of that. You are a person that sits home behind a YouTube camera and makes videos. You have no business in the law. You serve that tea when it's piping hot, you're going to get burnt. You got to wait till it simmers down. You got to wait till you're able to drink it. That's when you'll get the truth.
They started putting him against women. That's when they started saying he shouldn't be on women's channel because Deb had a voice.
They love doing that. They use the fact that I'm Canadian.
Yeah, that's what they do. They find ways to kind of get people to.
That's why I don't go on Black women's channels no more, because it's like I don't want to be involved. Mind you, I have fought niggas over Black women in my real life. Like, when I tell you, like, you can't tell me I don't like Black women. As a gay man, like my homegirls that live in Ohio, that live in Atlanta, they will tell you, I will fight a nigga over you. Like, this not
so
me.
Deb is a stand-up person. That's one thing I could say even throughout this whole thing. And me and So Deb met, just by passing, because I seen what was going on with him.
Because Cubs was making videos about me.
I was, I was on Deb's and not Aunt's, because ultimately at that time, I, like anybody, I'm looking at the situation for what it was. I'm like, I don't believe nobody should be doxxed. That's just how I feel. Right. And Nosy was trying to find out who this woman was, which was she was doxing people. So Deb had nothing to do with that. He was not connected to that. He didn't do any of those things. He was just somebody pulled up, and that's something I observed.
Anybody.
He never did any of that.
1 second. Does that your subscriber just believed the lie about all of this and they just left?
They found the victim. No, they always find a victim.
When you look at that the Speaking Spells mods, most of them were my old subscribers.
Yes. Well,
most of them were my old mods.
Yes. That's what they do.
Speaking Spells. Is that Dani?
Yeah.
And
why would they believe her?
Let me make a differentiation of why I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Who y'all hear today is not the same person I believe was the Speaking Spells.
Clock is definitely not. Definitely not.
So if you want to come over here and look at this video, the girl who's speaking on those videos today, that's not the same person. That for a fact, I know that it's not the same person.
And let me say this: the reason why people was believing her, because when she first came out, she was acting like she was a family member of one of the people that was attacked. So people felt like she was a victim and she was helping someone. She's helping her family member avenge them and clear their name and prove that they were not connected to All About the Tea. And so, and she was saying all these quote unquote supposed to be factual things about Nosy. So, she became believable ultimately. And she was putting these videos together, and, she was making them look a little funny. Like, I'll give her that. It was definitely some creativity in these videos. So she had a way to gather the audience and give them information, right? So that's why, and she was going by this whole God-like thing. God wouldn't do this. I'm here for God, and God wouldn't like us to do that. It was a lot of manipulation, if I could be honest. And basically they found ways, like in this situation, after that chalupa thing that happened with him and Rabbit, right? That is when the whole situation happened where Sonny came to Deb, told him the videos are being made about him. He's getting triggered because now they're doxing him, right? Yeah. They're doxing him for no reason. Go ahead.
So they pulled up the fact that they said I was getting evicted from my house. And I'm like, I sit in the same house every day. They said I was squatting during COVID, by the way. I'm squatting during COVID. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense because a lot of people are living in their homes, which, by the way, I pay my rent. So I did have a thing where
we couldn't even leave our homes.
Yeah, but I did have a thing where they were trying to send me an eviction letter, but I ended up paying the rent because I got my last paycheck like late, but I still paid it. And then also I got on the whole.
And how does that concern them?
But
what does that prove about you? What are they talking about that?
But I want to say this though. Even then, I still got on the relief thing for, you know, when they were helping people pay their rent during the time because I lost my job during COVID. So I'm like, when I went over it, I'm like, that's not even a thing. And it sounds like, so what they're going to pull up is this: I have a DUI, I do have one, and I think I said
you have a pass.
Yeah, I have a pass. So then
So what? We all have one.
But no, but what she did was he's trying to get ahead of the game because you want to look it up. So here's my story. So you have to tell it. I can tell my own shit. That's what I did. So then, you know, they looked up. Let me see what they looked up. My student loans.
What the fuck?
I'm like,
that's what she was doing.
College, we all have student loans. So
that's
then
what she was doing.
Well, yes, because you were a student. How dare you study?
Then they tried to discredit me going to a trade school, which I did radio for 10 years. Shout out to me because I did all that shit. I worked for a magazine. And I had the proof to show all the things, and I showed it on my channel. So she couldn't even say anything about this. So do you know what she did? She pulls up this picture of me and talks about I have a little penis. I'm like, I'm in there. Yes.
God wouldn't want you to talk about penis, bitch. The fuck?
Pull up a picture of me and tell, oh, his dick. So I went on said she's so obsessed with me because she wants to fuck me so bad.
Yeah, because why are you looking at men's
like,
penis?
You are struggling to figure out a story about me that you can't find. I'm not that guy. I'm just not. Like, I'm the nicest person you ever meet in the world. So you can't really pull up a lot of shit about me because I don't have shit about me to pull up. Yes, during COVID, I was struggling with the rent part, but I got that fixed. Yes, I had student loans because I went to college. But I also worked jobs that you could never work in your life. I've been around the greatest people, and I can show the video to prove it. So for me, it wasn't a thing of that. It was like, you guys are going on talking shit about me. And at the end of the day, who are you?
And your because I'm also pissed off because I just found some subscriber to be really fickle and really like, are you not allowed to be a human? So yeah, like what the fuck? Oh, you lost your job during COVID. The thing that happened to, I think, at least 60% of people.
Right, but let me tell you what they did.
Struggling with rent, which is something that happened to, again, a lot of people. Because did you see the rent?
Hello. But let me, and a lot of people lost their jobs.
But during the entire time,
it offends me.
But during the entire time, guess where I was going live from? That same damn house.
Hello.
I didn't move out of my house until 2 years ago.
Right.
So even that narrative, you couldn't even change that for me because I still lived in the same place. My background was the same damn background, and I lived in my own house the entire time. So that narrative could never be pushed for me. So the thing that really changed
trying
for me,
to shame you for being human.
Yeah.
And your subscriber probably that were saying how much they loved you. Using your humanity
but Madgie,
against
the reason
you,
why she did that, the reason why she was able to do that, because before she started, they came out with the whole what he did to Rabbit, the chalupa thing. They brought that up, and then there was a situation with Jen in the comments.
The main driver was Monique Tober. It was like, I hated black
You
women.
were rude to someone. Who cares?
Yes. And I'm like, well, if you go back and look at it, the only thing I did was ask questions.
That's the only thing he did. He was not
I was like, you are that bitch. Like, I never said
any of that.
The other thing that I did do, and I will own up to this, the only thing I ever did was this. I was tired of them. I said, the only people that attacked me was these black bitches. I did say that. The day that I said that, I was at wit's end because when they had showed my student loan thing, my sister lived in the house at that time. So they doxed my sister at the time. And so I was pissed. So when I said that, I'm like, who's attacking me? These black bitches, period. And and one of her mods that was on my mod at the time, she moved over there. She called me. She was like, you can't say that. I'm like, yes, the fuck I can. Because if y'all want to keep talking shit about me,
fuck you can.
I can.
Yes, you can.
Y'all don't understand.
Aren't they black bitches annoying you? You're mad. Are you not? Are you supposed to be like, those women who are, of course, to be respected are fucking, like, can you just be mad? Can you be a human?
I wasn't allowed to, though. I wasn't. And I will say this. I've never talked to Trees like this ever before, but she was the person who was like, it's just you being a black women's stuff. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. From that day forward, I never even got on nothing else with Black women.
My channel meets all the requirements for monetization. Check, 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 check. Also, it doesn't have
Check, 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 check. That was not passive aggressive at all, Dani. Good job.
any active community guideline strikes. Again, no active strikes. I'm in the green hunty. Don't believe the lies. So, no worries. I will fix the repetitive content issue and everything will be back to normal.
Let me ask you guys a question. Why would Dani, and it's a fair question, why would Dani have to lie about this? Nothing. So that's why I didn't quite understand the narrative behind it. That this idea that she had been demonetized for bullying, or nope, sorry. It's almost like it's like wishful thinking. I don't know, but it didn't happen. I don't know, guys. It's interesting, but she doesn't have to lie for any of that. Make sure you guys subscribe to her backup channel, Truth Teller Dani. Okay. Make sure you subscribe to her membership as well. I believe it's like $1.99. I signed up. Okay. I have been a supporter of the Avengers for a couple of months now. Dani never fails in what she delivers. Okay. Very transparent. And that's how it is. And I wouldn't support her if it wasn't the truth. Yeah, her backup channel has been monetized for quite some time, actually. Very much, quite some time. My channel, backup channel, is also monetized as well, which we're live on. I haven't been on it very often. I feel kind of bad, but I just go back and forth into what it is that I want it to be and not be and everything. The other thing we need to drop, and I believe it was dropped earlier, was the cancel John Yates petition. So give you guys an update before I head out, because I do have, yes, she always delivers. I do have a baby bunny over here that, like I said, she runs my schedule. It's no, she's the one that, she runs the schedule. She runs this channel. She runs everything. So that's just how it is now. JY, we'll talk a little bit about John Yates. I heard a little, I got to look into it. I don't think it's a rumor. I think it's factual. That the, let me call it a rumor, because I haven't seen any court paperwork quite yet, that Sherelle's World will be going after John Yates. This is what I've heard so far. I don't know. Maybe a garnishment payment plans. I don't know what she has. Not really sure. Make sure you guys kind of keep an ear out about that. That's probably coming up. Make sure you guys sign the petition.
The little girl who the woman told her that she was being raped. Her name is Molly. We need to do something. Also, it's very important to state that I called the adoption agency that they had on their page, I guess alleging that they used them, and that adoption agency has never heard of these people. Something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong here, and this needs to be looked into by everybody. Everybody needs to get involved. So please use our hashtag. It's Costco Girl. We've been using that on social media. Hashtag Costco Girl, and please call the fucking police in Gilbert, Arizona, and demand that they do a welfare check on. We have to demand that.
The other thing I thought was interesting, when that interview started, and I'm just thinking back, because the human trafficking bus, okay, yeah. She kept referencing one. She said that her uncle worked with the sheriffs at some point, no longer works there, does security. Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I might get my facts wrong here, but it was something to the effect of, he knows how crooked they are. There was a bus. He sent me a link to an article just right now or the other day.
And so I don't remember if those were her exact words. I know she's been trying to get me to contact the police for her. And I mean, I just can't do that. I mean, but she said that her uncle, was a part of the sheriff's department. He's no longer, you're right. She did, I'm recalling, said that he does know how crooked they are. And he said that too, deputy sheriff, whatever they're called, were just arrested for human trafficking. And I said, for SA, and she's like, no, human trafficking. And I'm like, okay, because you hear how she keeps referencing the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
I think she's saying that the mom works for the Underground Railroad. I've tried to look for stuff like that, but I really don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about. So I guess they have some type of trafficking thing, and they have other kids that they're just, I don't know where the story goes sometimes.
Yeah. When she was, so where I was going with is the link. She kept talking about that there was recent news. And what I thought was interesting is you kind of caught her on this one. I don't know if she realized that she had been caught, but suddenly the link is not, the news article is not there, that they had just posted this.
First, I'm like, okay, well, because she's like, I can show you. I'm all about show me, because I hear you, but show me. And so she's like, okay. She's texting me, oh, I'm gonna call you right now. Answer. I'm gonna call you right now. I'm gonna call my aunt, I believe she said. I'm gonna call my aunt, and she's with my uncle. Something to the effect of that. Don't quote me exactly. You guys can go see. And she's like, yeah. Oh, she's not answering first. She says they're not answering, and then okay, well, I'm gonna try again. Okay, so then she gets a hold of the uncle. Oh, everything's deleted off of the internet.
And all of this, guys, for anybody that has questions about this, it's all captured on a live, guys. It's on her channel. So this is all kind of happening during the live. And I'm like, this is, I don't know if anybody can see this, but this was gold to me, that it was like very telling about deflecting from the current situation. The part where she said that she had hit the mom and the dad at the Costco parking lot. And suddenly nobody was talking about that. But for me, I was stuck. I was like, wait a minute, what happened to, because you know that would have been a full-on police investigation. Somebody would have gone to jail that day. What do you think of that? Where do you stand? And you're smiling. Where do you stand with that?
I'm smiling because that's literally where the live left off today.
Mm-hmm.
And I respected her wishes. She said, get me off live.
My biggest thing is that people need to know what they're giving their money to. If they're going to support a woman that has a story and they're okay with the inconsistencies, go for it.
Right.
But if you have doubts, her GoFundMe at the time I checked was $3,086. 83 people donated. But there was another account that I believe by the name of Spot Fund. And I don't know how much the total was, but some of these accounts people can pull from without having met the goal. She's wanting $15,000 from this one GoFundMe. Her thought process behind the GoFundMe, the deleted, anything else that you could help shed light to the situation?
When I asked her about the GoFundMes, she said, I believe she told me there was no GoFundMes. She took them all down. But then later on in conversation, I asked her again, and she says, oh, hold on, let me send you the link. So I say, send me the link. So she sends me the link, but I'm trying to click on it. I can't get into it. So I go look myself, and it's like, a blank picture, whatever. And then she's like, oh, no, that's not mine. And I'm like, all right. But I asked her again later on, like maybe the next day, well, what you said, why would I go with somebody for free? This is a serious case. And Margie, she was asking me to find her lawyer. So that would have been, I said, somebody might take your case pro bono. They might.
And I will just kind of read it quickly. Need a good lawyer for the situation going on and for my family being attacked and harassed. I'm tired of the sheriff department law informant shutting me down when they are upset for failing our system again. I need some people to give me names of very good lawyers because I'm pursuing to press charges and take this upon myself to be her voice.
Do you remember at the beginning of all this stuff, they were saying that Monica's going to do a documentary on the panel. And then that's when Dani showed up.
I don't remember that because did she say, oh, on her channel after Nosy thing went down when she was on that live? When she was like, I should do it when she did that panel after Nosy channel went down? Are you talking about, was that on that live?
This was way before that.
Oh, okay. No.
There was a thing going around that they were going to do a documentary on the panel from T. And Monica went on and said, why would she do that? Because we're not even important. And then after that, Dani showed up. The craziest thing is this, when she made her first video about me, I said, put my real name. She put my full name, put on my Facebook page and everything. And I'm like, okay, so my name, got it. Then she put on my student loans. I'm like, baby, you don't have a lot to pull me. I don't have shit going on. The way that they tried to move around with me, it was just so weird and stupid because I'm like, I don't have a lot that you could pull up about me. I'm not a scammer. I don't have a lot for you to pull up about me. I do have student loans that I do own. I was evicted. I do have a DUI, but I canceled that shit before you even bring it up. So There was nothing else that they
But
could
I
pull
have a
from.
question. How would they be
They
able
are
to get
trying
access
to
to your student
humiliate you.
loans? How would they be getting access to your student
I
loans?
have no idea. I have no idea.
Because
Yo,
I know that
Daddy found
But when she pulled it up,
a
it was
lawsuit between my mom and my
old address
aunt.
was on that. My old address was on that student loan.
that's what I'm saying. This is dangerous. This is a very
Like
dangerous
those people are
situation.
not well. They use normal life thing because life is life. This
But
is life.
but the reality was what they were doing was they were trying to take my subscribers down because my subscriber base had grown so much.
Yeah.
And they wanted my subscribers to move to them, and that's what they did. They all
That's
moved.
what they did.
On my
That's
channel
what
right
they
now, I have
do.
8,000 subscribers on my channel right now. But I have 8,000 subscribers right now. I could barely get 100 people in there. So
I hate the fact that they use your humanity and that the
To trigger
idiots who
you.
followed you were just like, yeah, for sure. And that's something they do to me. They did to cops. Like, I think I'm one of the only, like, that they did such a thorough campaign in me and people are still rocking with me in a certain sense. Like, because I think it's because of all of you. People are tired.
the magical part about me and Cups was this. When I met Cups was making videos about me, and I watched the videos. I was like, damn, she read me the book. Like, she read the shit out of me.
Ow.
But I also went and I inboxed Cups, and I was like, that's not me for real. You know what I'm saying? We had a conversation. I didn't have to battle with Cups about like the truth. I'm like, here's the proof of the things I've done. Since then, I didn't have to battle like if I'm telling the truth. Cups knew what I was saying. It was true. And that's what it should be for anybody that's on social media. Like these, they used to call her a conspiracy theorist. What is it called?
A conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, there is. Everybody's not that. And so when we talked, I was like, I mean, it was so refreshing to be like, this is what happened. It was like, oh, okay, I understand. People want to hold me down so bad about that Monique Tober thing. And I'm like, I did not do nothing wrong to that lady. I asked questions that I wanted to know. And I even asked after this, I wanted to talk to her, but they were like, oh no, he needs to be taken down. I'm like, for what though? What did I do?
It's because that is their weapon against you.
Right. They wanted to silence him. After that's what they do. Once they don't need you, they try to silence
Maybe
you.
she probably wasn't even that offended. But they could paint
She never
you
showed
as
back
that
up.
angry black.
She never showed
and
back
you know they
up.
love using stereotype against black men and black women. Like the angry black man, the dangerous black
what
man.
they do.
Like
That's
this
what
is
they
not.
do. This person is playing on black people's trauma. That's what they've been doing this whole time. They find ways to trigger you because what they did to Deb before he got to that, only black women is doing that to me. He had Sonny turn on him, Val turn on him, Marcella do an interview, accuse him of owing her $7,000, $7,000. We
What
still
is
talking
that
about
$7,000? What is that story?
She went on and said that she gave me $7,000 because she came here for her birthday. I think that's what she came here for. That's when I hung out with her. And where the hell is her at? But I hung out with her for her birthday, I think it was. And she wanted to go to some upscale restaurant. It really wasn't even that. But I came dressed because we were supposed to go to the club. That was the original plan. But then Sonny got involved in this conversation at some time. And I'll tell you guys even this. The candy shop was one of our friends at the time too. I was like, well, let me call her too. They told me, no, don't call her. So I'm like, well, why? You know, and we all hanging out because I just met Sonny the day before Marcella had came to Atlanta. So she wanted to go to this upscale restaurant. And so picture at the gym, to my penis is small. I'm like, baby, you just want this dick. That's all. I mean, that's it. And I'm a gay man. I don't do women, so I can't do it. So, I mean, do your thing, but I couldn't do it. But the reality is, I don't remember what I was saying before this because now.
But the reason why a lot of people turned on Deb was because they were making it seem like Deb took that $7,000 or he owed that $7,000. There was a poodle situation that happened in the chat with Jen, and Jen is not a black content creator. And Jen had said that Sonny here looked like a poodle, and they got upset with Deb because they felt like Deb didn't do it, even though Deb in Her did say something to Jen on that panel about that. They brought that up about you. Like that was one of the things that they brought.
Do that. Someone says something around you and they're like, you are responsible.
Yeah, you're responsible. That's exactly what they do. They basically
wait a minute.
Saying.
Rewind this. Hold on. So the pool thing, I got blamed for that too.
Yes, that was put in the video because they said that about Her. They said that basically Her had Jennifer, and because remember Jennifer was defending you and I believe Val or something like that in that chat, or you, and I don't know, but I know that Jim
I
was
think the only person
defending
that
y'all.
Jennifer ever was defended was me.
Yeah, because Jennifer
Because
felt like what was done to you was wrong.
even hear her and Jennifer were people who were defending me the entire time.
Yep. Yep.
And that's why Hear Her made her channel, because Val told her to go make that channel and get off of Sunny's channel.
Live. Yep. Because Hear Her was asking, because they started saying that they were saying basically all the things that Nosy said was a lie, and that Monique Tolbert was not connected to the LLC. And Hear Her said, no, Nosy said, because Sunny said that wasn't the truth. Nobody never ever said how Monique Tolbert was connected to the LLC. And then Hear Her said, no, Nosy said.
No, that's not true. What happened was she came to defend me, and they told her to go to her own channel because she was defending me, because she didn't understand why they wanted me to give Monique Tolbert an apology still. That was what, that's why.
No, but that also happened. I just put that on the short. I have the video of that. I have that whole video. So that all happened in that one conversation. Hear Her.
That's on Sunny's channel?
Yeah, I don't know. No, Sunny don't. I don't think she deleted all her videos, but the video came from Sunny's channel, and Sunny had Hear Her up there, and what's his name? Q was up there also, and there was another person that was up there, and basically, and that girl over there had sent that $4.99 super chat, and she had basically also said she wanted Sunny to Hear Her off the panel.
It was K-Stone, it was Val, it was Sunny, it was me. I think it was the Candy Shop, and Q.
Right, and Q was up there, and that all that stuff did happen. Val did tell Hear Her to go get her own channel, to get off Sunny's channel. Yeah, well, Sean Davy Way and Official Kingpin, they've always been close. They both were allies of Armand at one point in time. We all know that Official Kingpin and Armand was friends originally, and that is how they all were. That's how I knew them back then. Official Kingpin and Sean Davy Way, they were allies of Armand. So they've always been cool. So if that answers the question, they've always been cool.
Are they still cool now?
Oh, I don't know, but I know they've always been cool. Yeah, I know that they've always been cool. Their relationship has always
Official
been
Campaign
tight.
seem to be cool. They seem tight. Now, Sean Davy Way is always on Incoming Opinion, basically shaming Val.
I saw that. That was a lot.
I watched that video
all
too.
I'm saying about him. I'm like, he went from this Miss Netta to now insulting Val.
But I also understand that too when it comes to Val. I'm sorry to say that, but I do understand that, because people go up for her all the time, and then she like backhands you, and then.
But she was lying before.
She been lying since she's been on YouTube.
It surely has.
And they give a damn.
I think they
just found out. That's my problem. I'm like, you didn't just found out. You gave money to her. She gave money to you. You did a lot of things with money.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't you be asking how much money did Val make acting as if she was sick?
Right. That's
I'll say when she the first time when she was in there at the hospital, when the brother was the son was in the chat, they were donating money to her.
Hello. Who was they donating the money to, Deb? Do you remember who they was donating the money to?
I don't know where the money was going.
Oh, it was going to that girl over there. It was that girl over there that was collecting money. I believe, no, not that girl over there. I don't know. No,
the other girl over there.
It was Shaky. It was
I need the name, like a girl over there for me.
No. It was Shaky. Shaky was collecting the money.
The other girl over there.
That's the other girl over there.
No, the other girl.
Shaky was collecting money. I don't know if Sunny was also collecting money, but I know the main person that they said was collecting money was Shaky.
The C people, I'll say the C person and some other folks in there in support of just trying to make an argument of why or what. I'm still trying to figure out whether it was credibility or the welfare of a child. I was listening, guys, and I swear I started itching. And every time I start itching, not just because I'm a rabbit, but because it's when things kind of don't sound very well. Yeah, the dead fish in the sea, something like that. I would say that. I like to use PowerPoints for my arguments. I don't think that there's anything wrong with PowerPoints. Shout out to Milan, Paris Milan, who did thorough research in this situation, okay? Who really took her time and looked at every ins and outs. And you know what? She contacted, or maybe, had some contact to really educate herself about child welfare, social services issue. That's what she did. She probably went above and beyond what her scope was. Why? Because she wanted to make sure people understood what was being said in terms of Molly, okay, who at this point we believe is her name, right? Who they've dubbed hashtag Costco girl, which, by the way, we have found very disrespectful in our channel, because if you know her name, why would you call her after a store? So as someone that has worked in the field, that has studied the field, okay, that knows the field, that has trained even with feds, you have to know that when I hear these allegations, that when I hear somebody coming up to a bigger following and platform, because at some point, the person that made the report was found not to be credible, then somehow that's dismissed. And what I heard from this argument today was 11 reasons, 11 ways the case is suspicious. We don't have a case, guys. We don't have a social services case, do we? Was one open? Can we verify that? Do we have an investigation right now? Let's start right there at the very basic. The Costco video, the fact that the child looked sick, sad, disheveled. I mean, I've heard every word in the book, okay, about the description of what Molly looked like. So much so that what the entertainment attorney said today, I'm just going to say the attorney because I believe that's what she is, right? Like, she is an attorney. I can very much vouch for that. I see her profile. And this isn't about killing her background experience. This is about really bringing awareness to how we see child abuse and neglect through our eyes, and how, instead of really making an argument as to the reasons why this call was made, or even just defending the fact as to why the call was made, which, by the way, we shouldn't have to. Don't defend why you are making a call to social services. You do it because you're a good Samaritan. You do it because you're doing it in good faith, right? You do it. That's how you do it. You should always do it. But the energy that I got was, I'm here to defend the credibility and to talk about all these bloggers that I'm not going to give clout to. And then at the very end, we all have to come together for Molly, guys. Let's kumbaya. But see, you have this energy, and somehow we're missing the message. That's it. That's all you get. And to be quite honest, let me tell you why I respect the privacy of the parents, okay? You see, you brought up there someone that had 3 of their channels removed. And I really wanted to do my best to separate that situation from Molly's situation, but it's kind of hard to. And let me tell you why. You're going after Paris and her credibility for speaking to a group of Facebook people, right? The group that Angelica herself had contacted. She made herself part of that group. You're questioning the credibility of the people in that group. Did it ever occur to you to question the credibility of those so-called investigators from Nosy Ho Live? Did you know that they had criminal backgrounds? Did you know some of them had been charged for fraud? With fraud? No, you didn't. But you gave them a lot of credibility. Based on that alone, I'm going to assume that not only is your background not in journalism because you're a blogger, okay, but it's also not in social services, child welfare, assessment of people. Because we keep talking about there's a case. There's no case. The only person that has a case right now is Angelica, and it's for lying. So what that tells me is we're building some conspiracy theories. Again, we're doing this again. And I don't want to take away from the fact that human trafficking doesn't exist. But why does this situation have to be the poster child for a human trafficking awareness in 11 reasons? Because it's 11 days since everybody last heard from the child as to why you're concerned. I want to know why this child is being used. Her name is being used to do a GoFundMe page. Why are we capitalizing? Why did we do that? And why did you promote that Angelica would be on your live today and she wasn't? If you're not bringing up Angelica here, because you clearly said, but you support the initial claims. How many times did you interview Angelica? You see, when you offer your platform, you're in support of that. Wrong or right, it's your platform and you've allowed that to happen. Allegations that haven't even been that were taken from someone that was put in jail for making false allegations and then continue to make false allegations about having a black eye. I'm not even dragging Angelica on this yet. She's already got a lot of stuff to face because I would know. Shit, and I've said it before, I don't even think I can name 10 Nicki Minaj's songs. Love the girl, but I don't think I can. But I would know when something like that has been said about someone's child. But you sat there and you said, you're not part of our team. When did this become a team thing? If this was about credibility, if this really was about Molly, that wouldn't have never come up. However, let's not get away from the topic. Let's talk about this. You've allowed this person to capitalize. I'm going to say Angelica to capitalize. You said that nobody is being paid in your panelists. Nobody, you accuse everybody else of being paid. You had receipts, didn't show any of them. Let's just be real. Nothing. Okay. Is you allowed this person, Angelica, and so did the other channel. She promoted a GoFundMe and no receipts were shown. We don't know where that money's going to go. Everybody co-signed. Yes, go ahead. She's going to need a good attorney. They're going to need a good attorney. And the last time that you guys had Angelica up there, you had someone, she's already making allegations that her Miranda rights weren't read. You allowed this person to run rampant. Okay. You gave her a platform. She's capitalizing and said the right things about Black people just to get a reaction, and she got it. You fell for it. She did. And Paris Milan, who did a thorough research, by the way, shout out to her again, she pulled up that Angelica had said the N-word. I'm Hispanic. You'll never catch me saying the N-word, ever. And we have yet to see anything concrete that Molly is in any danger. No, we have 11 ways the case is suspicious. And I'm still trying to figure out, when did this become a case? When did this become a case? Is it a criminal case? Because it's a criminal case for Angelica, but it's not we don't know what it is. Is it a child welfare case? What case is it? Did you just make that up in your head? I don't see any receipts. What receipts were shown other than a PowerPoint of speculative things? You didn't even let AAA make her ending point. You interrupted her in the middle of her moment, okay? Where she's trying to teach everybody as to 11 ways why this case is suspect, which, by the way, I argue whether it's a case for Molly and her family. Just saying. You had no receipts. You were so concerned about defending yourself. Hence, this is my problem. When you interviewed Angelica, you were so concerned and quick to answer those questions. And if I were you, I would have done that pre-recorded, because it is ridiculous that you allowed Nosy Ho to play the recording. She didn't even play the entire audio of where she was talking to the police. What really got her in trouble, it wasn't that one. It wasn't the entire thing. She missed out the part where she said, I have 36,000 of my subscribers and we're all going to call. She missed out the part where she called the Arizona cops pigs. Is that passion? And I really hope, Remy, that your channel in itself is not in jeopardy for allowing someone up there that has continuously bullied and harassed people on different platforms on this channel. Doxed. She admitted to have pulled the license plates. Who gave her the liberty and or permission to do that? And who did she use? She used people to do that. And it's so crazy to me that you had an attorney up there that, instead of really thinking about, oh my God, was a crime committed here, she continued on with the 11 reasons as to why the case is suspicious. But because you have that energy, like I said, I assess that you're very young. I don't know if you're over the age of 21 or under the age of 21. Hence why I feel like it's a lot of young energy that I'm getting here. I'm also feeling like you, have you taken any university and or master level courses and or beyond to even really understand what you're doing? There's a difference between being concerned and making a call. And again, guys, hear me. If you're concerned about child abuse or neglect, make a call. Okay? But I want you to be very well aware. Laws are very tight about children. And that child is adopted. Hence, meaning we don't know of any subsidies and or anything. Doesn't mean she's in foster care because she's adopted, which means that she is in a home, and a forever home. And whether we like it or not, if it fits our picture perfect situation, we have to understand that some things, it requires us to collaborate with police, even though we don't like them. We have to collaborate with them and we have to work together. There's a difference. And if we don't like that answer, then guess what? You figure out, what am I going to do with the rest of my questions? What am I missing in my educational background so that I know what these social services workers are doing? You need experience in this area. You really do. And you also need experience in how many kids are in foster home. Black and brown, what are the percentages? How many of those kids don't get adopted? And then the assumption of bedwetting. Did you guys happen to go to her house? Now there's a witness for bedwetting? This is the piece that I'm talking about. Don't put more narrative into something that is not, because I'll tell you something. It is not factual. It is what we do when we want an answer and we don't allow ourselves to be satisfied with what is going on. And yet, I'm still trying to figure out how we got to the other sides of that. The reality is this. We don't have a case. We didn't get any receipts. We had a lot of speculation. And you're lucky if you're not sued for any of that. Okay? We have someone as a blogger that decided to put somebody else in a platform that she's been terminated for a reason. For a reason. Okay? And you allowed her to sit there. She doesn't have any children. I don't know if anybody else up there had any children, but they're willing to tell you what everybody else is doing wrong. Right? I wouldn't take advice from any of these people on how to raise children. Unless the attorney is an experienced guardian ad litem and GAL, or maybe a child welfare or family law attorney, then I don't know what else to take from that, other than speculations and 11 reasons why this kid is being abused and neglected and molested and trafficked and part of a railroad situation.
So this family, they're not feeding their adopted child. She's crying. They're being racist towards their daughter. You guys we need to expose these people. This family, look at her. She looks hungry. And they're making her say that she's not hungry. And these people are disowning her, and they're probably using her as a slave like they were back in the day. So yes, the sheriffs are on the way. I called the cops because yes, I'm a Catholic-ass person, and I'm not about to watch this go by. That is very rude and very disgusting of these people.
On my YouTube channel, we just called the police in Mesa, Arizona, and in Gilbert, Arizona, and got complete runaround, rudeness, people making threats towards me, hanging up, being very nasty and condescending, and telling us that the accusations about the girl are not true. When I told one of the officers that, she complained about being raped, he said that basically traffic is more important, and asked me, is it happening right now? So he really asked me, is the rapist on top of the black child now? This is creepy, it's weird. I do not know, I want to make it clear, I don't know if the accusations about the girl in Costco are true or not. What I do know is there's something going on with this police department in Gilbert, Arizona, where these people allegedly live, and they seem to be trying to cover up something. The way that they behave is really weird, and everybody needs to watch it on my YouTube channel, and everybody needs to call them out and report them. This is crazy. It's crazy. And the daughter, the woman, the little girl who the woman told her that she was being raped. Her name is Molly. We need to do something. Also, it's very important to state that I called the adoption agency that they had on their page, I guess alleging that they used them, and that adoption agency has never heard of these people. Something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong here, and this needs to be looked into by everybody. Everybody needs to get involved. So please use our hashtag, it's Costco Girl. If you've been using that on social media, hashtag Costco Girl, and please call the fucking police in Gilbert, Arizona, and demand that they do a welfare check on. We have to demand that.